Let there be peace in my mind. Let there be peace on the earth. Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to be. Peace inside my mind, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my mind, God and only God I live to be. Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om Shanti Peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God and only God I live to be. Peace inside my heart, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside my heart, God and only God I live to be. Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om, Om Shanti Om, Shanti Om, Shanti Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Om Shanti Om. Peace inside the earth, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside the earth, God and only God I live to be. Peace inside the earth, God and only God is moving me. Peace inside the earth, God and only God I live to be. Peace inside the earth, God and only God I live to be. Peace inside the earth, God and only God I live to be.
Good evening. My name is Reverend Guy. On behalf of Frank and Reverend Caroline and the entire community of Hilltop Center for Spiritual Living, we welcome you here to the celebration of life of our dear friend, and so many things to so many people, Vicki Alves. Mary Oliver wrote, "To live in this world, you must be able to do three things: to love what is mortal, to hold it against your bones, knowing your own life depends on it, and when the time comes to let it go. To let it go. Ralph Waldo Emerson, the great American philosopher and poet, said that it is only the finite that is wrought and suffered, but the infinite lies stretched in smiling repose. And so today is bittersweet. We are here to celebrate, to come together, to share stories, to laugh. But we're also here to grieve and to let go. We are holding that love, that time close to our bones. And together we are prepared to celebrate and to let it go.
Thank you, Guy. Welcome, everyone. Frank, I don't even recognize Vicki in that photo. The hair. Good evening, everyone. I'm Reverend Caroline Flanders, a longtime friend and part of this Hilltop family. There was a really good book that I read, and in one of the chapters it says, "There is a time and a purpose for all things under heaven. There is a time and a purpose for all things under heaven. There is a time for joy and there is a time for sorrow." And today, though we're here on a very, very sad occasion, what I know to be true is that the purpose for this time together this evening is for us to be community, for us to be comfort, not only to Frank, but to one another, and for us to be love, to be love. This is our time and our purpose to remember and to celebrate the life of our very precious, precious friend, Vicki. Vicki is truly a friend to all of us. And when I say friend, I mean that in every sense of the word. No matter what your relationship is to Vicki, Vicki is your friend. Vicki loved unconditionally. Vicki gave positive regard. And Vicki would just bring joy into the room wherever she went. She's been a person to explore, fearlessly explore and draw upon wisdom in whatever situation she faced. I think most of us here have seen that, and most of us have seen that particularly in the last few years. So today, this evening, we're going to share some stories. We're going to see some beautiful photos, which we already have in those little booklets. We're going to laugh. And no doubt, there's going to be some tears too. My most sincere hope is that above all else, that each of you will embrace this opportunity to reflect on the very best parts of Vicki. And then to decide for yourself how you will honor her life by being those things which you admire about her the most. Whether it is her bright smile or her fantastic personal style, Vicki was always in style. Whether it was her effervescent joy bubbling up from this platform, whether it was with the percussion that she brought into the room, and I'm really missing her special touch on the tambourine right now. Wherever Vicki went, she would leave a wake of brightness. And so how perfect that when we walk into Star Hall, where she's passed through so many times, we see such sparkling lights and joy, such beauty, such a perfect tribute and reflection to this beautiful woman, this beautiful friend. Maybe it's her consciousness that we admire the most. Vicki was always so concerned and into whole person care, was she not? She was a consummate healing touch practitioner, and she was interested in any modality that would bring alignment to the physical self.
I know that was something that we shared, and we shared in the last few hours that she was here with us too. As her good friend, myself as her good friend, during times of challenges over these years, I think I've known her for about 18 years now, something like that, right, Michael? And often as her practitioner, sharing spiritual mind prayer, spiritual mind treatment, and most recently during the past few years as a minister, walking alongside of Vicki. For me, there's one thing that I absolutely for sure hold on to and cherish and want to emulate. The part of Vicki that has most deeply touched me. The part of her that I absolutely want to strive to keep alive in my life. And that is, above all else, Vicki is a very spiritual person. Vicki had and demonstrated a very deep faith. Vicki knew that she knew that she knew that there was a power and a presence in this life that meant only for her goodness, only for her highest good. She knew that that presence was always with her, always. Even when she didn't quite know a few other things, Vicki knew the power and the presence of the divine. Vicki drew upon her core belief, and she walked her spiritual path with mastery. Wouldn't you agree? I think so. And even when things went sideways, even with physical decline or cognitive decline, Vicki was always authentically, courageously, and powerfully spiritual. Powerfully spiritual. Now, I know her well, and I absolutely know that the spark of spirit that is Vicki is right here in this room right now. You all feel that? Vicki is in the foundation and the walls of this building. She is in the blood and the cells of her family members. And Vicki is in the heart and the spark of spirit of each and every single one of us here tonight. And even those who couldn't be here. Maybe you're watching us tonight. I know that some of you are. So my invitation to you right now is actually very simple. Be the things that you love the most about Vicki and about any other loved one that comes to mind, anyone who's gone before you. Be the things that you love the most about them. Choose one simple trait, one thing that you admire and that you adore. And today and every day from here on, make it your personal spiritual practice to try to live up to that. Cultivate it in your life. Let it be your personal tribute to Vicki and to your loved ones. Be the things that you love the most about the people that have gone before you. And will you join me in prayer? So when Vicki and I were together many, many times, we always ended our conversations, which were always spiritual in nature, with a very simple chant. And so I'm going to say the words and invite you to repeat them after me. There is only one life. That life is God's life. That life is perfect. That life is my life now. Now would you bow your heads and receive a blessing? The perfect life, the goodness of the divine, is in, through, and as each of us here this evening. The spark of spirit of Vicki, of whom we all love, lives and moves and has its being in our hearts. For this we give great thanks. We receive the blessings and comfort of community, of love, of sweet memories. We allow our hearts now to fill up on these wonderful, wonderful things. Let us together accept and affirm this blessing with one voice, and let us say, and so it is. And so one final parting word. Frank, in those few days before Vicki made her transition, I know you sat by her bed without ceasing. And you go to their house, there's all these spiritual books and memorabilia all over the place. And one book came into his hand, and one particular poem stood out to him, and I'd like to share that with you. It is called Live Without Thought of Dying by St. Catherine of Siena. We work so hard to fly, and no matter what heights we reach, our wings get folded near a candle at the end. For nothing can enter God but God itself. Our souls are some glorious substance of the divine that no century wants to stop. Live without thought of dying, for dying is not a truth. We have swayed on sky's limb together. Many years there, the same leaves grow. But then they get that look in their eyes and bid farewell to what they disdained or cherished. This life, God gave the shell, the daily struggles we know. Sit quiet for a moment, dear. Feel the wind. Let divine light touch you. Live without thought of dying, for dying is not a truth.
It's an original song, and we're dedicating it tonight to our past piano player, Dennis. Dennis is the one who got me up here for the first time, but he was also the one who said to Vicki, "Come on up," and he put a shaker in her hand. And for 17 years, she never left. So thank you, Dennis. And at the end of the song, you will actually hear Dennis playing the piano.
We are the light. We are the light that's everlasting. We are the love. We are the love that's never ending. We are the light. We are the love. We are. We are the joy. We are the joy that's overflowing. We are the peace. We are the peace. We are the peace of a planet healing. We are the joy. We are the peace. We are. We are the light. We are the light. We are the light that's everlasting. We are the love.
We are the love.
We are the love that's never ending. We are the light. We are the love. We are. We are the joy.
We are the joy.
We are the joy that's overflowing. We are the peace.
We are the peace.
We are the peace of a planet healing. We are the joy. We are the peace. We are. We are the light. We are the love. We are the joy. We are the peace. We are the light. We are the love. We are the joy. We are the peace. We are the light. We are the love. We are the joy. We are the peace. We are the light. We are the love. We are the joy. We are the peace. We are the light. We are the love. We are the joy. We are the peace. We are the light. We are the love. We are the joy. We are the peace. We are.
I'm just a scotch taller than Vicki, and this is the highest podium. Like, it's up to my chin. So if I don't read anything correctly, I'm blaming it on that. Vicki's bio. Vicki Lynn Claggett was born in Berwyn, Illinois on March 2nd, 1949. Her parents were Charles Russell and Mary Elizabeth Claggett, known to all as Russ and Betty. The first major event in her life was in 1954 when she was 5 years old. Her parents, along with another couple, bought a fishing resort known as Herman's Landing, northwest Wisconsin. This was where Vicki and her brother Dennis, who was 5 years older, spent their childhood, located on a 17,000-acre lake known as the Chippewa Flowage. The area was a wonderful place to grow up. Along with her brother and the children, Vicki's parents' partners, Georgia and Kathy, Vicki helped run the resort along with the adults. She spent her off time growing up in a glorious natural background. This time in her life was never far from her heart and helped to shape the person she was to become. For the rest of her life, Vicki had a deep felt love and respect for nature and never missed an opportunity to hug a tree. After high school, Vicki moved to Minneapolis, where she attended business college to learn secretarial skills. In 1968, she moved to San Diego, lured by the desire of the surf, which, by the way, she never did. She went to work for a local attorney. In 1969, she became part of a local theater group at Mesa College, where her first husband-to-be, Michael Brousseau, was going to school. It was there she met her lifelong friends, Terry and Lainey Heft. Vicki lived quite the exciting life, working hard in the law field during the week and embracing the counterculture lifestyle of the times on the weekends. This included being part of 2 rock opera productions, as well as helping to run an erotic art gallery known as The Paradise in her and Mike's home in Ocean Beach. Where else? Later, Vicki began working in the legal department of San Diego Gas and Electric Company. It was at that time, in 1981, that she met a handsome, intelligent, hardworking, and quite talented young man named Frank Alves. They were married in 1982 and bought their first home in Sierra Mesa, and 1 year later they moved to Del Cerro, where they lived for the next 7 years. At that time, Vicki had begun working a tough but rewarding job as a legal assistant to Harvey Levine, a very successful bad faith insurance company in downtown San Diego. Frank worked as a real estate appraiser for the Bank of America. And in 1991, they purchased a cabin overlooking Lake Cuyamaca in the local mountains. By 1992, they had decided that the mountains were where they really wanted to live, and they moved to Julian in the year of 1992. Calling it their great adventure, they fully embraced mountain rural life, and for Vicki, it harkened back to her time growing up on the Chippewa flowage. By then, Vicki had left the law business behind and began working a series of part-time jobs locally in Julian. Well, Frank continued to work as an appraiser for the Bank of America, but now mostly remotely from home. In 1999, after the passing of her father, Vicki and Frank moved to Fallbrook. Vicki's mom, Bertie, also moved to Fallbrook to be closer to her. Betty passed in 2004, They found themselves here at the Hilltop Center for Spiritual Living. Frank became the music director for the church not long after, and they became members. Vicki was then asked to join the music ministry's house band as well, and became the much-needed percussionist. Like everything else she took on, she jumped in with both feet. She took drum lessons and participated in local drum circles for years. Frank was music director for 17 years, and although various musicians came and went, Vicki remained the group's percussionist. Together they played every Sunday at the church, did several concerts, and eventually made a CD along with the other long-term members of Spirit Hill, who, by the way, are here with us today. Members of the Hilltop Center, both past and present, have become very close, treasured friends and remained a big part of the rest of Vicki's life. So many people remember Vicki being the first person they met at the church. She was so inviting and fun to chat with. Whether it was cruising full throttle on Lake Chippewa, taking her mom line dancing in the 1980s, tilling a mountain garden, or shaking a mean tambourine on the Hilltop stage, Vicki always embraced her life with a limitless, infectious joy. To those who knew her, it will always be who she was.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for being here. I'm going to do something a little different. It's something that I think Vicki would approve of, because we valued so much our friends, and she valued friendship so much. And during the last 3.5 years, those friends and family have been very, very important to both of us. And so I'm going to take just a few minutes here, and I'm going to go through fairly quickly because I know we have a lot to do, to thank some people. These are people who did sometimes very small things, but made a big difference. I want to start with neighbors. Margaret, thank you for chauffeuring and much appreciated dog watching, and for the many dances with Vicki at the Brothers Bistro. She just loved to dance. Chris and Mike, thank you for your frequent front door visits. Caregivers, I don't know if they're here tonight. I invited them. Ellen, thank you for being there for Vicki for those many months, but also for becoming a much appreciated friend. Rosalinda, thank you for your wisdom and expertise, especially during Vicki's final days. Family, my out-of-town sisters, Yoli and Tess, thank you for being there for me by phone at all hours for loving support. And Vicki's older brother, Dennis, back in Wisconsin, who was with me every step of the way. Thank you for your many hours on the phone that gave me perspective, wise advice, and much-needed support. You became the brother I never had. And friends. Her lifelong friends of 55 years, Terry and Laney, thank you for offering your home as a welcome refuge for me and always providing me with well-thought-out insight. Roseanne Vasquez, a childhood friend who came back into my life, thank you for your frequent text check-ins. Chris, Assad, Mark, and Kurt, thank you for the attention and kindness you showed to Vicki when we were able to come to church. Kimmy, thank you for showing up at the best time at the worst night, on the worst night. Judy, thank you for the hugs. Claire, thank you for singing to Vicki that one day. I know in my heart that she really could hear you. Jeff, thank you for all the work in putting the photos together for this service. Jay, thank you for providing me with so much, with a few needed road trip escapes. And Liz, a true friend of Vicki's, thank you for the many times you took Vicki to her favorite Carlsbad restaurant for blueberry pancakes. And when that was no longer viable, having her over and making her beloved bacon. Caroline, thank you for your many check-ins with me and for your love and kindness to both of us over the years. And thank you for your final visit that so blessed Vicki's spirit on its journey. And especially I'd like to thank Stacy Riggs for your loving devotion to Vicki. Thank you for your frequent cards that filled our home, for helping plan and stage this wonderful service, and for being there for her and for me for Vicki's final days in transition. That final moment of shared tears and your wonderful act of kindness afterwards will never be forgotten. And finally, I'd like to thank my beloved Vicki. For 44 years, you filled my life with so much joy, laughter, adventure, and love. I miss you so much. To close, I'm going to quote the words of one of our favorite songs that always had me thinking of her. By the way, Johnny Hartman and John Coltrane's version is the best. The first verse goes like this. The very thought of you makes my heart sing, like an April breeze on the wings of spring. You appear in all your splendor, my one and only love. Thank you.
Vicki had a great love of animals, of all living things. It was one of the things that just stood out so much. I was thinking of this poem by Christopher Reed. I expect that you've seen the footage, elephants finding the bones of one of their own kind dropped by the wayside, picked clean by scavengers and the sun, the untidily left there. They decide to do something about it. But what exactly? They can't, of course, reassemble the old elephant's magnificence. They can't even make a tidier heap. but they can hook up the bones with their trunks and chuck them this way and that way. So they do. And their scattering has an air of deliberate ritual, ancient and necessary. Their great size, too, makes them very embodiment of grief. Where they play of their trunks lends sprezzusa. Elephants, puzzling out the anagram of their own anatomy. Elephants, at their abstracted lamentations. May their spirit guide me as I place my own sad thoughts in new, hopeful arrangements. And so we want to take the time to maybe be like elephants. And instead of throwing bones, maybe briefly some anecdotes or thoughts or stories to share. And so if there is something that you would like to share, to give to the community, this would be the time to do it. Let me use the operative word briefly, because afterwards we will have a feast, and that will be the time for the long stories with great detail. And as Vicki would say, with more cowbell. So I'm going to invite you up, if you wouldn't mind, if you choose to speak, because the celebration is being videocast. And so for the opportunity for others to see, we would invite you to come forward if you so choose.
I just want to say that Vicki was so devoted to you, and you were a lucky man. And it was always just so precious to see both of you. And I know that's probably very hard now to not have her right there by your side. It was really very special. That's all.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rosanna, and I've known Frankie. No, Frankie has known me since I've been born. They lived 2 houses down, and our parents and our families were really good friends. We do a lot of things together. And so his sisters, who can't be here today, asked me to read a little something for them both. And I'll start with, Tessie. She's the younger one. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry I'm not there with you and my brother to celebrate my sister-in-law, Vicki. I'm right by your side, Frank, holding your hand. As always, my brother married Vic, and she became family and was a lovely gift. She brought the calm to the Alves storm. So many wonderful memories I will treasure forever. Vic will always be alive and present in my heart. Here's a little poem I wrote that I know Vicki would get a kick out of. Like a sunrise that glows or a star so bright, Vic lit up a room with her smile and half her light. Her eyes filled with compassion as she listened with care, and never a doubt Vic would always be there. Full of joy and good spirit, no matter the day, Vic rose to the challenge and lived life her way. Her tambourine taps were enjoyed by us all. To see her perform on the stage was a ball. Her talent to make things from scratch with love, using things she would save and never get rid of. And now she's in heaven with her smile and great wit, hearing God's loving words, "Job well done, my dear Vic." I love you, Vicki. That's from Tessie. To Yoli. Yoli's his older sister, and she wrote, Vicki was my friend before she became my sister. I was thrilled when she and Frank got together, and she brought her lovely spirit into our family. My favorite memories are of holiday gatherings Frank and Vicki hosted. She made them so special, and her joy and excitement were contagious. Those who knew Vicki loved her smile, which reflected in her inner joy. I keep repeating the word joy because that is the best word that applies to her. She never got angry or held grudges that I saw. She was a peacemaker, especially in our family that often needed one. She was a wonderful aunt to her niece and nephew. Her loss leaves a giant hole in our family and in our hearts. I will love and miss you forever. Rest in peace, sweet Vicki. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Hi, my name is Liz, and I've been a practitioner at Hilltop for, 10 years. And I met Vicki when I first walked through the door, and my memory of her is she was the coordinator, and you couldn't leave without Vicki signing you up for a job at Hilltop. And she was very eager to fill all the positions. She had this huge notebook of all of the different, things that she can contribute to Hilltop. And it was always her zest and her joy to bring people in and to have them feel a part of the family. And she was always that way. She was the yes girl. Whatever you wanted to do or a new idea, she would say yes, and she'd figure out a way to do it. So I will miss you, Vicki, and you will always be in my heart.
Hi everyone, I'm Lee, the music director here that took over after Frank and Vicki were here at Hilltop, and I just want to speak to Vicki's joy for music, because that's what my journey is all about. And I didn't know Vicki beyond a few rehearsals and services that we did together where she was playing percussion and I was playing guitar, and I just want to speak to that joy that everyone speaks to and that we all search for as artists. And immediately I could see that Vicki had it. That fearlessness, that we play music not for to be cool. We don't play music to be, anything in particular. We play music because we're human. And I just feel like the way that Vicki inspired me, and when I play with musicians that do that, I carry that in the way that I play. And I think she did that in life, in a lot of the ways that she does things, and that inspiration. So I just want to speak to that as a music director and as music kind of pulls us all together as the art that it is in our humanity. So thanks, Vicki, for that inspiration. And thanks, Frank, for sharing.
Thank you, Joe.
So I know that Vicki was always Frank's biggest fan, like crazy about him. And it wasn't until after I got sick that I really came to realize that Frank is Vicki's biggest fan, because just watching him with her when she was really going through a really tough time, and he was the most kindest, gentlest, had no idea, that he could be that way with her, and he was always like that the whole time. And so I just wanted to remind everybody that after all the busyness of having to finish up with losing Vicki and closing off all that stuff, that you should call up Frank and take him out for a beer or make him breakfast or whatever, because he's going to really need it, and he deserves it.
I'm going to say one thing, just a short. Vicki gave the best hugs in the morning when coming in, by far, always with a smile and always with joy.
Indeed. Is there anyone else? Come on up. No, keep your pants on, please, Joe. Some people are here for the first time, so please keep.
Well, I came to Fallbrook about 20 years ago, and I went to this Italian restaurant, and there was Frank and beautiful Vicki playing these great songs, and I have a handicapped son who lived in a group home, and I brought a busload of them down from L.A. to hear Frank and Vicki play, and that was beautiful. And I like the Italian food as well. But your music was great, and that was before Hilltop Center. And many times, Frank and Vicki came to my home when my wife was alive, and 50 or 70 people would show up, and we'd play hits of the 50s, right? And that was beautiful music, and that took us way back to when I was a kid. So, and I enjoy seeing everybody here every week, and I missed the last year or two when I didn't see Vicki. That was sad. All right, thank you.
Thank you. That pant thing's Joe. So before service began, I heard Frank say to somebody that walked in the door, "Welcome home." And I guess in many ways, the Hilltop Spiritual Center is a home to so many of us. And home is a place where you can have your pants do whatever they're going to do and still be loved. Is there anyone else? Is there anyone else? You got it.
Vicki was a dear friend. I've known her almost 20 years. We used to sing together, and the one thing that hasn't been said very much that is so true about her is how she loved to dance. She would, no matter what else was going on, how she was feeling, she would get up and she would dance. And she loved to dance to her husband's music, as we all did.
Thank you. Anyone else?
So I was lucky enough to play a few gigs with Vicki, and it was amazing the collection of percussion instruments that she had amassed over the years. An incredible array of drums and sticks and tambourines, and that's my life as well. And to see that collection, I knew we had a serious player on our hands over here, for sure. So it was a real trip to play music with her and play percussion with her, and I'll miss her spirit in the percussion world. So, thanks.
Anyone else? Anyone else?
Mine was so short.
But we're not going to start over with everything.
No, we're not. I'll just end it in here, unless somebody has to, but we can always go over there and speak. I just wanted to say that her spirit was so awesome. When Frank and Vicki would come to our restaurant and play back in the day, I thought I had to bring that up. There was just this spark that she had that just made it like, oh, here we go. And I don't remember her dancing, or being the percussionist that she was up here. She was amazing. But her spunk was just so lively. It's, she lived a big life in a shorter amount of time than we hoped. I'm really sorry that she's not here with us.
made a noise, she kept
Including the cowbell.
Shines and we shine like diamonds in the sun. Every one of us. And we shine like diamonds in the sun. Every one of us. Every one of us shines. Happy and free. May all beings be happy and free. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu.
We read in the Apocalyptos of St. John that the author recounts a vision. And in that vision, he sees a new heaven and a new earth. He sees in his vision the city of Jerusalem, new and adorned like a bride, descending from the heavens. And he says that in this time, that God itself will pitch a tent among his people, and God will be their God, and they will be the people. But then he says, and in this time and in this place, there will be no more sorrow, no more sickness, no more pain, no more death. For the former things will pass away. We live in that in-between time, do we not? For that future time of no suffering, no pain, no sorrow, no death seems far away. And yet what sustains us is the very essence that brings novelty, agility, and newness. That's the presence of love. It is the very reason that each and every one of us are in this room tonight. Because a remarkable individual with her capacity to love beyond boundaries saw each of us. Each of us were held in her heart. Being with Vicki is being in the presence of love. And love is the force of all creation, of all evolution. And it is love that brings this new city. And so we live in the sorrow of a loss, of a friend, of a partner, of a sister, of a collaborator, of all the many things that Vicki was to each and every one of us. And yet we also live in the hope that that which never created can never die. And the essence of who she is very much alive here and now. And in time, a new earth, a new heaven, a new reality awaits us all, where we will be together again. I first met Frank and Vicki at the memorial of Bertie here in this place. And often when I'm invited to officiate a celebration of life, I invite people to join in a meditation of completion and farewell, as I did with Bertie and as I will do tonight. And so as we are moving to the end of our ceremony here, before we go into the other room to feast, the most sacred thing as human beings we can do, which is to share a table. I invite you, if it feels comfortable, to breathe first, and if it feels comfortable to close your eyes, to do so. You know, when we breathe, everything changes. I'm going to invite you into an imagination, if you would. Quietly in your own heart and in your own mind. Imagine, if you would, that you were on a grassy knoll on a lovely autumn day, much like today. The vast expanse of this grassy hill that moves down to a large flowing river. Just imagine the coolness of the air, yet the warmth of the sun on your face. Perhaps you can imagine a beautiful azure blue sky, contrasting the brilliant green of the grassy hill. Maybe you even hear the wind in the trees and the sound of birds. Perhaps even the slow rolling of the river. You can smell the freshness of the air. Quietly in your own place here, just experience the incredible peace of what it means to be here. And then, in your mind's eye, coming over the hill and walking towards you is Vicki. Vicki, in that expression that we know, so full of life and radiating joy, that great smile on her face and that twinkle in her eye. And she sees only you as she approaches you and sits beside you, feeling her presence. And so, if there is something unsaid, something that you wanted to say and perhaps did not have the opportunity to say, quietly in your heart, speak to her now. Speak those words. And there she is smiling at you. And she speaks. And she says, I love you. And that's all that matters. Because that's all there is. And she invites you to walk with her to the edge of the river. And as you're walking down, you now see that there is a small boat with what appears to be an angelic being at the tiller. And as you are making your way down to this boat, she says to you that it is time for her now to go into the west, to go into the undying lands. And there she will be waiting. And so she steps into the boat, and it pulls from the shore, making its way into the river, into that far land. And your eyes hold her eyes as you look at each other, smiling. And as the boat is moving further and further to the shore, she smiles at you one more time, and then she turns because she's no longer facing this shore. Her attention, her consciousness is now on that far shore. And just as it appears that she is getting smaller and smaller and further, what we know is in those undying lands on that far shore, she is growing greater and greater and larger and larger. And so we bless you, Vicki, on this journey. We are grateful for this season that we have had together. We are grateful that all of our lives have been changed so much for the good from her. We bless her. And in that love that we hold her, we commit ourselves to continue to love Frank, for he is here with us now. And so he is now in our care, as she is now in the care of her ancestors.
We remain in this sacred space as if the warmth of the sun was still upon our faces. And as we bring this part of our evening together to a close, let us once more glimpse upon that beautiful water. And like so many bright, shining diamonds from the sun, let us remember and hold and cherish the brilliant smile and the spark of spirit of Vicki. Let us always feel and know the percussion of her heartbeat is the very heartbeat of God. And the effervescent joy which has filled our lives with so much love is now forever expanding. Vicki, eternal life, always present. We give thanks. And we give thanks for this community, which is so much a part of her. We give thanks for this opportunity to give one another love and comfort and joy. Giving thanks, let us bless the remainder of the evening together, calling it forth into being. Please join me in saying, and so it is.
Would want us to hurry up and go eat and not be sad. And so we are going to finish by playing something that's not sad, that I know she would approve of.
And with that in mind, if you desire to get up and dance, please do so. And I would like to say thank you. Thank you to Rev for holding this space, for holding this platform, for holding this spiritual center together for all of us, this community, but specifically for this band, for all the years that we had the honor to be here with Vicki. So thank you.
We've got to give a little love, have a little hope, make this world a little better. Try a little more, harder than before, let's do what we can do together. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We can really make it better, yeah. Oh, la la la, only if we try. Living in this crazy world, so caught up in confusion, nothing is making sense for me and you. Maybe we can find a way. There's got to be a solution. How to make a brighter day. What do? We've got to give a little love, have a little hope, make us feel a little better. Try a little more, harder than before. Let's do what we can do together. Oh, 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 oh. We can really make it better, yeah. Oh, la la la, only if we try. Got the world's on our mind, got the troubles on our shoulders. Sometimes it seems so rough, what we go through. Maybe if we take the time to understand each other, we can learn to make it right. What do? We've got to give a little love, have a little hope, make this world a little better. Try a little more, harder than before, let's do what we can do together. Oh, we can really make it better, yeah. Oh, la la la, only if we try. We've got to give a little love, come on, have a little hope, make this world a little better. Try a little more, harder than before, let's do what we can do together. Oh, we can really make it better, yeah. Oh,